Roach?
I know, I trust
I
you.
don't mind these breaks in the
Record
silence.
Street. I'm only one away. Again.
Roach!
Know what happened the last time I was paired up? I don't want
Roach!
this new one to... What?
Our new potential recruit. He's standing
Right here. Yeah, I said I know. I'm aware of his presence, have been since he walked in the door. I said what I said. I stand by it. And rookie, don't you dare let me down.
Let us
Got a
talk.
lot to prove around here.
Leave no quarter. Show no mercy. You're prompt. Good trait for a tracker. Anyhow, we can talk about punctuality or we can get down to business. I am agent number one, or no one, if you prefer. It seems you've decided to entertain our offer. Good. A drop of enthusiasm can create an ocean of success. Remember that. However, it is not as simple as accepting and taking an oath. You must be tested in the field and face a true challenge before taking up the mantle of tracker. Do you have any questions before we proceed? The mission boards are merely a tool we use to expand our reach to freelancers who either do not have the capabilities or the desire to work with the Trackers Alliance in a more official capacity. To put it simply, those bounties are trifles compared to what official trackers deal with. They're lower risk, lower reward. Why not you? I know of your accomplishments. Your bravery on Vectera, fighting off the Crimson Fleet, made the news. You aided our Trackers Alliance efforts in Sidonia, bringing to justice an elusive target. In Aquila City, you thwarted a dangerous hostage situation, without violence. Without hesitation, you saved lives in New Atlantis when one of the most deadly predators in the universe attacked. And I know about the Mantis. Do not be alarmed. That is a secret I respect and will take to the grave. I could say more, but trust that you would not be here if I did not believe you worthy. Excellent. Before we accept you as an official tracker, you'll need to demonstrate competency in the field. To that end, I would like you to first accept the available bounty on the wanted display on the nearby wall, then report back to me.
You ever want to learn from the best? I'm your guy.
There are always more bounties to collect. Good. You have your mission. Once you are a tracker, you may not get a briefing like this for your missions. You'll be expected to handle them by yourself. The Trackers Alliance facilitates bounty hunting. We don't hold hands. For all intents and purposes, you are an independent entity affiliated with the Trackers Alliance. You may utilize our resources, including our database if need be, but you cannot expect someone to be with you every step of the way. That is not how we operate. Excellent. I knew you could. The target for this mission is admittedly one of our toughest. Not because of how dangerous he is, but because of how often he has evaded us in the past. His name is Hannibal Eutropio. He's wanted for 94 counts of spaceship grand theft. We have reason to believe he runs a chop shop somewhere out in the fringes, but we do not know where. Luckily, we have intel that one of his associates, Adrastos Dakota, is currently here in Aquila City. For your first mission, you were assigned a partner, Roach. He will have more information. Speak with him. Roach has been instructed that if he wants to continue in our service, he will comply. He will get over it. He always does. I trust that his demeanor will ease once he gets to know you. Roach is one of our best trackers. You would do well to learn from his techniques. I wish you the best of luck. Leave no quarter. Show no mercy.
Yo, inevitable.
What's up, Tank?
You've been doing this a while, huh? The whole tracker thing, I mean.
You could say that.
And Roach hasn't been doing it nearly as long, right? But he keeps going on about almost beating some crazy record streak or something. But like, how's that possible when you've been doing this for way longer than he has? Why don't you have the record?
Well, even if I did care about such things, which I don't, I simply take my time. While Roach is out there chasing down easier targets to pad his record, I took the bounties that required me to do months of investigative work.
Ah, got it. So like, is he not as good as you then? 'Cause that's kind of what it sounds like.
Tank, you may need to slow down and listen. That isn't what I said. Roach is very good at what he does. He just takes a different approach.
Okay, but between you and me, it still sounds like you're the better tracker.
No comment.
Glad to be on the same path as you. Oh, hey! I heard we were getting a new tracker. Nice to meet you. Call me Tank, 'cause there ain't no stopping me. I'm new around here too, but if you've ever seen me run the Red Mile, you know I'm not just blowing smoke. Anyway, hit me up if you want to swap pointers, or just shoot the shit, you know? Good. It's been good. Kind of easy compared to the Red Mile, maybe. I mean, people may be unpredictable, but they're easier to take down than the beasts on Porima 3. Heck, sometimes they give up willingly. And the other trackers seem to appreciate my work. Even the grumpy ones who think I'm too soft. But they shut up real quick when they see me in action. Probably because I'm too friendly. Almost everyone around here is either all business or standoffish. Maybe that's just what happens after you do this for a while. But nah, not me. Gotta take some time away from being a ruthless bounty hunter to be a real human being, you know? Otherwise, what's the point of it all? And it's the same with some of these targets. Some of them just messed up real bad and deserve another chance. You need to remember, they're people, and not just a picture with the fat cred stick attached. I don't know. There's gotta be something, right? Like, how would you deal with a target that seems ready to blow your brains out, but you know he's not in his right mind? Like he's on Aurora or something. Kind of. Yeah. No, it did. Almost exactly like that. It was my first mission, and I froze up. Luckily, I had a partner for the mission. He was creeping up behind the guy, tackled him and cuffed him before he could do anything. Obviously, I still think about it. Yo, that's smart. I like where your head's at. No sense dragging a corpse back if it didn't have to be that way. And plus, if you bring him in alive, he could face justice the right way. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. 19 successful runs last I checked the leaderboard. Anyway, keeps my skills sharp, which is even more important now that I'm a tracker. I know I don't look like much of a tracker or a runner, but I'm cool with people underestimating me. Makes it that much more special when I crush their expectations. Hasta luego, my friend.
Watch more than you speak. You'll learn faster. I'm pleased you chose to join us. Call me Inevitable. Yes. I chose this call sign to remind me how important it is to take my time. My work may take longer than others, but I never make mistakes. And I always find my quarry. No one has escaped me in over 40 years. You're welcome. All I did was extend the invitation. You decided to follow through and brought yourself. I didn't choose to recruit you, but I did the research and tracked you down. Surprisingly, it was not easy. I followed some tips, then picked a busy port and waited. I'm nothing if not patient. I knew it was only a matter of time before you showed up. Well, from what I can tell, despite your notable accomplishments around the settled systems, you don't stick around anywhere for too long. And following you can be a challenge as well, since it seems to be by whim where you go next. For you, yes. A good tracker should be as a shadow. Elusive, unnoticed, yet ever-present. For me, let's just say it exposes a vulnerability in my armor. Perhaps my skills are not, well, what they once were. Not much. I've been doing this longer than any of the other trackers, even Agent Number 1. I pay little mind to the claim I was the best. I've no need to compare and no ego to feed. Not like Roach chasing some asinine record. My specialty is tracking our most elusive targets, which takes longer. Sometimes months or years. I do my job thoroughly, and that's all there is to it. That being said, I rarely go on the hunt these days. My experience is now far more valuable as an agent than a field tracker. Yes, patience is your #1 virtue. That is something I did not understand fully when I was younger and less experienced. As a novice tracker, I was impetuous. One of my early quarries took advantage of this. He would wait for me to act rashly and falter, which gave him the upper hand he needed to escape. The cycle would repeat. He evaded me for years. It wasn't until I understood the value of patience that I caught up with him and finally claimed the bounty on his head. It's how I earned my call sign. It may take time, but I always get my mark. Not quite. It is rare that a tracker lives long enough that they can choose to retire. Those who do are truly fortunate. Some of us decide to continue our service to the Alliance as agents and offer our services as guides and teachers. Our experience is valued. Does that worry you at all? Does it change your mind about wanting to be a tracker? Of course. Just understand that I'm the exception, not the rule. This is dangerous work, even by your standards. Until we speak again.
Heard you might be joining up. Good luck, my dude.
A nod to the stars that align our paths.
Well, if it isn't the rookie. Hey, so, about earlier, when you first arrived, Right, you're not. Because when we're working together, you're going to follow my instructions so you can learn from a real professional. I was doing great until I volunteered to partner up with a rookie like you. They ran in, guns blazing, got shot up, and we had to evac, which let our mark get away. Couldn't save him either, so a waste all around. But now, I'm being voluntold that I need to partner up with you, for reasons I don't want to get into right now. So, best not disappoint me. The record for consecutive successful bounty missions is held by a tracker who went by the call sign Volk. 372 consecutive bounties brought in. That's 372 with no escapes, no mistakes. I came close to beating this record, but, well, didn't. I was a legend around here, but don't bring him up. It's a bit of a sore spot for a lot of trackers. You ever work with someone who was really good at their job, but they just seem to rub everyone the wrong way? The boss won't do anything about it because they're afraid of losing that person. It was like that with Volk and the previous Agent No One. Except Volk was just needlessly cruel to his quarries. And everyone. Even his allies. I mean, like, torturing children to draw out their parents kind of cruel. He was a bad dude. He killed the previous No One. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And neither should you. Good. Glad we had this talk. Now let's get down to business. This Adrastos guy is our ticket to finding Hannibal. We find him, bring him in, and get the information out of him. Any questions? Don't worry about that. They always talk. Eventually. We'll make sure of that. If I had, he'd already be dead or behind bars. I know he's slipped away from all the other trackers who've gone after him, but my plan will let us finally get the drop on this slippery chasm bass. Great. Adrastos was last sighted in town, so we're going to go out there and you'll use your scanner to find him. Once we do, we'll convince him to chat with us. By force, if need be. If you don't have any more questions, let's hit the road. I think we were given a bum deal. Hannibal has been on the wanted list for ages, and no tracker's been able to nab him despite many trying. But maybe Agent No One's expectations are low, and they just want to see how you handle a tough but low-stakes situation. For that, I guess it's perfect. I just wish they weren't intent on dragging my record down with it. Funny you ask. Until recently, no one even knew what he looked like. Despite his many crimes, he's managed to keep an exceptionally low profile. As you can imagine, it's hard to find someone when you don't know their face and can't find their base of operations. This is compounded by the fact that he never leaves a trace, and we never know when or where he'll strike next. The fact that we got info linking Adrastos to him is a damn miracle. It's the hope. He's our only lead at the moment. Now, if the question is, do I trust him? That's a different story. But again, we do what we can with the information we have. Ah, so you want to learn from the best. Well, let me tell you. All that matters in this line of work is that you get the job done. Sometimes that means skirting the law. It's usually on our side anyway. Alive or dead means you've got a choice. Don't get too hung up on it. Always go with whatever guarantees success. No sense bringing morality into it. These people are wanted criminals on the run from justice. Last thing, competition is a strong motivator. That's how I got where I am today. Don't get yourself killed out there. Okay, Drastos is likely wandering the streets around here somewhere. Open up your scanner and look for anyone with a bounty. We may need to check other areas of the city, but he's bound to be here.
How you liking that laser gun? You do not want to go outside the city walls. The Ashton was ripped through it.
Ever run into spacers?
I do feel
Scumbags and scavengers.
They keep saying they've
They're like
changed.
vultures, picking away at
Maybe
the
I should give them a
leftovers of the
second
column
chance.
war. Nope, no way. Hey there.
An enterprising mind, a keen sense of fairness, and a love for the hard-working folk of this city. Well, that's what Honest Earl is known for.
Every credit counts. Your donation means someone has put it.
Doing the right thing is tougher than doing the easy thing. It always works out better. How are you holding up?
I'm feeling all right. I've just got to put my head down and push through.
Feel free to read. This is a haven for all that love letters.
We need to be smarter, better in the way we handle the ash stuff.
Hopefully, you're not some UC bug.
You get that inventory done?
Sure did.
And you put in that order with Shepard?
Yes, ma'am.
You're a damn sight more reliable than my last bartender.
That's because rumor has it if I don't stay on your good side, I'm liable to lose a body part.
Don't go believing everything you hear about me, Nash. Most of it, sure, but maybe not that much.
While I got you here, I'd say something. I ain't the best at expressing gratitude, but it really means a lot. You giving me this chance. Thank you for that.
Well, you've proved your worth, so I might even let you stick around a little while. As long as you don't go getting too mushy on me, that is.
Not a chance.
There's nothing wrong with breakfast for dinner, or lunch, or dessert. It's all food.
Ain't that the truth?
You see any heat leeches, you've got our permission to take care of them. You hate it here already?
Don't you worry. Those walls are solid. Ain't no Ashley getting in here.
You looking for a bounty? Trackers Alliance can help. If you've got what it takes, the Trackers Alliance is always offering work. Yeah, bye.
Just keep your gun holstered during your stay.
I thought I was going to be fired for sure. But now I got a whole performance review plan to go through. Joy.
Diverting funds to xenobiological research, but I'm not sure if the profit margins justify it.
That sounds great.
scanner and scan him to confirm. It should show his active bounty. Take credit for this one.
Hey, can I help you? You know, he would be pretty pissed if he knew I squealed. Who knows what he'd do to me? I might take you up on that offer. If I'm picking up what you're laying down, you could probably make some of those charges go away if I cooperate, huh? I probably could. I'm just not sure that would work for me, you know? Okay, fine. I'll tell you what you want to know. What exactly do you want to know? Something about Hannibal, right?
You need to tell us where he is. Then, as long as the intel's good, we can consider letting you off easy. Got it?
Got it. Cooperate or go missing. Crystal. Truth is, Hannibal could be anywhere. I don't know how to tell you where he is.
I don't believe you. You better start spilling or...
But I know where to find his chop shop. I don't know what you want me to say. Hannibal's got a team of spacers, mechanics mostly, but also some muscle. If you're planning on going, you best be prepared to fight, because they don't like unannounced visitors. Yeah, of course. It's an old abandoned star yard in the Andromos system. Andromos 4A to be exact. Surrounded by a field of giant space rocks. Can't miss it. Actually, you can. That's kind of the point.
Great. You're coming with us, then. You run, you die. You cause a commotion, you die. You so much as sneeze without asking.
I die. I think I get it. Well, what are we waiting for? To the chop shop.
Right. Hey, rookie. A word? So normally, you'd register Drastos with the system and leave him bound for someone to come pick him up. But we need him to tag along with us. Now, if we show up in my ship, we'll lose the element of surprise. I'd rather keep our cards close to our chest. Gives Hannibal less chance to escape. Not really. Seemed a little too easy, but what other choice do we have? I'm not about to let this opportunity to bag Hannibal get away from us. Worst case, we shoot a bunch of baddies and we still have a Drastos. Yeah, I've got one all right. See, the last guy I took in wound up dead and unknowingly donated his ship. It's a nice ride and the parts are valuable. We'll use that. The Drastos here is gonna help us on the comms as we approach.
Oh, I am?
Or he'll find himself in deep space without a suit. He's going to play it as if he jacked a ship and brought it to be chopped up. And he's going to do it without giving it away that we're on board because he knows what'll happen if he does.
As I was saying, I'm going to do just that.
He'll stay behind on the ship. Not much trouble he can get into with his hands tied, and there isn't exactly anywhere he can go. Plan doesn't change much. There'll just be more bodies, and hopefully Hannibal won't escape. Great. Let's get to it then. The ship's parked at the spaceport. You'll be the one in the pilot's seat, so I can keep an eye on our good buddy Adrastos. Let's wrap this one up nice and quick.
Aquila has a little bit of everything.
Ecologies are living things.
Howdy.
Hey.
Make your way.
Looks like we got nothing.
Bit Aquila's dusty, but it's home.
Davis turned literally purple.
I can't believe Bailey did such a bonehead move.
Hello there.
Pardon me?
Word to the wise, avoid the stretch, especially Aggie.
You know, I thought getting caught would be a lot worse than this. This is actually kind of fun. I'm not gonna hold this against you. You're just doing your job. This is not how I thought my day would go, but it could be worse. Am I right? So, first mission for you, huh? I'm not gonna hold this against you. You're just doing your job. Expect them to hail you. When they do, keep your yap shut and let me do the talking, or else they'll know something's up.
And there won't be any funny business, no tip-offs, nothing that seems like coded messaging, because Adrastos here knows what happens to an unprotected body in space.
Yeah, I've heard. All right, shall we?
That's far enough. Hailing frequencies are open. State your business or move along.
Hey, it's me, Adrastos. Am I coming in?
Loud and clear, Mr. Dakota.
Perfect. Look, I just lifted this sweet ride from some poor sap in Aquila. I need to bring it into the shop. You got room?
She's a beaut, all right. We'll get those numbers filed off, and then we'll decide if we want to keep her as is or strip her for parts. Bay 1 is almost free. You're clear to dock with it. See you on the inside.
See, look at that. Smooth and easy as Chunk's pie.
We'll see. Make sure you're suited up and ready for anything, rookie. Easy part's over. Expect resistance once we get inside. Something tells me they're not gonna take kindly to us.
Probably not. Hey, what about me?
What about you? You're staying right here on board, and we're locking the door behind us so no one can get in or out. You know, just in case you were hoping for your friends to help you. Me and my partner will go in and grab Hannibal. We'll be back before you know
it. Sounds like you got it all figured out. I'd say good luck, but it doesn't exactly work in my favor, so... I don't know. Don't have too much fun without me? Yeah, sure. We'll go with that. This is not how I thought my day would go, but it could be worse.
Let's get a move on. We won't have much time before they figure out something's not right.
Okay, rookie. Remember, they shoot at us, that's on them. They chose their fate. It's open season on assholes. It's my preference to take Hannibal in alive. He's more valuable that way. But if it comes down to it, we'll do what we've got to do. Let's go get him. Hey! Thought I saw another way in from below. Get down there. Worth checking out. Lockers in the living quarters, I assume. I love dealing with space. They make it so easy sometimes. that sucker open and fire that missile.
Shoot! I give up! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold up! You got the wrong guy! I'm not Hannibal, I swear! I just work for him! I ain't lying! I'm telling you the truth! For real now! I ain't him! It's like this, see? Hannibal rarely goes out. But when he does, he goes under an assumed identity and leaves me in charge. Sometimes it's a Drastos, sometimes it's Chase, Jackie, Scotty, whatever. He's got 100 of them. It's one of the reasons he never gets caught. I'm just Deke. Deke Hansen.
Motherfuck. I don't want to believe him, but it makes sense.
See? You get it. Whole reason he does this is in case someone comes looking for him. He's gotta have at least a couple dozen other contingency plans even I don't know about.
Luckily, Adrastos, Hannibal, whoever the hell he is still on our ship. He didn't think that part through. What do you want to do with this guy? Your call, rookie. For what it's worth, I don't remember ever seeing a bounty for a Deke Hansen. Roger that. Okay, come on, Deke. You're coming with us.
Hello, trackers. By now you've probably found my associate Deke and learned that he is not in fact me, and that I am not who I said I was. Darn it, I know, right? Anyway, if you look out the window, you can see I'm taking your beautiful ship. Thanks, by the way. But don't worry, I won't leave you stranded. Not that bad a guy. You'll find a container nearby with a key to an old junker that should hold up long enough to get you home. I've left you some other goodies too, just so there's no hard feelings. It should unlock now. As for me, I think I'm out of the stolen ship business after this, so I won't trouble you anymore. So long, and thanks for playing.
Almost makes it hard to hate him. Almost. Well, we gotta get back to HQ. Let's see what he's left us and hope he's not luring us into a death trap. This mission behind us, the better.
God damn, he wasn't kidding. This thing looks like it can barely fly. Still, that Hannibal is something else. Could have marooned us and left us to starve. At least we can get home.
contraband. Scan complete. Go ahead and land.
Your ship's not half bad.
Well, everyone needs supplies. Feel free to look around.
That's it. I'm not going to show up to work for a week.
There's not enough to do around here. Every gun gets a full... Here's what I have in stock right now.
What brings you to the Trade Authority? Got it.
Sure, you ask me? Traveling and Freestar Collective. Don't make me regret this now.
Another day, another shade.
I hope you bring good news. I assume your return means you have successfully completed your mission. But where is Hannibal?
I'll let you say it, rookie.
Is this true, Roach? I know Hannibal has a reputation for being elusive, but I believed if anyone could catch him, it would be you.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, no one, but unfortunately it's true. Like a heat leech, the squirmy bastard was there under our noses the whole time. He escaped our notice and left us stranded. I'll fill you in later.
More importantly, Roach, how do you evaluate your partner's performance?
Even if we didn't catch our target, Rookie here did a good job. I stood back and advised. Rookie did most of the work. They'd make a good tracker.
I trust your endorsement, Roach. With that, your assessment is complete. Roach believes you did well. Welcome to the Trackers Alliance. Other bounties on the display will now be available to you, as will the downstairs lounge. There, you will find the Elite Bounty Board, with tougher missions, as well as other amenities and resources. Lastly, you will choose a call sign. This is how other trackers will know you within the Alliance. It will obfuscate your identity and keep you safe. It is affirmed. Henceforth, you shall be known among trackers as Night Stalker.
Hey, Night Stalker. I brought in another couple bounties. Hope you're keeping up. Well, if it isn't the rookie. We've been through the ringer together. Why not? Okay, fine. Been bounty hunting for a while. Before that, I was a line cook at a shitty little restaurant in Neon, of all things. Got no family, no close friends. In other words, no liabilities getting in the way of being the best tracker in the history of the Alliance. That's me in a nutshell. Well, you weren't that bad of a partner. You kind of grew on me. That, and I need someone to compare bounty scores with. Was hoping you'd be game. All these other losers think it's beneath them or something. Great! I had a good feeling about you. You've got a lot of catching up to do if you want to even approach my numbers, but don't think I'll just stop and let you.
A nod to the stars that align our paths. There are always more bounties to collect. After the Narian War, there were issues with extrajudicial vigilantism involving bounty hunting. The Trackers Alliance was formally established and sanctioned by the Freestar Collective and the United Colonies as a way to combat this growing problem. The governments of the settled systems hire us for our specialized skills and allow us to operate largely unhindered in exchange for holding us accountable. This mutual trust is rarely breached. Certainly, it's largely the same whether you're finding targets of opportunity with your scanner, taking on an elite tracker bounty mission, or going after a target of interest. After you've convinced your target to surrender, or subdued them through non-lethal force, you can register them with the system. Registering them lets either local law enforcement or a specialized tracker know to come transport them away. I can see why you would ask, but no. Criminals are punished by the justice system depending on their crimes. Some of those punishments can be harsh. Not everyone in the Alliance feels the same about the motto, as it's a bit of a holdover from older times. It's more of a tradition, and it serves as a reminder to never give up and pursue your targets to the end of the universe, so they can face justice one way or another. We have trackers who specialize in prisoner escort and detainment, rather than what we're asking you to do. They have the ships and equipment required to ensure successful handoff to the appropriate authority. Yes, I won't go into the particulars, but even if you are in the furthest reaches of space, someone will eventually be directed to pick up your target. With someone on their way, your target would not get far. They would be charged with additional felonies. It would only be worse for them. Our system works pretty well for us. I am no one, by design. There has always been and always will be an Agent Number 1 to lead us. Upon assuming the mantle, one loses all traces of identity, including all of one's records and history, even gender and voice. You can imagine, many would seek to do harm to one in this position. To protect family and associates, our identity is more than confidential. It is eliminated from existence. Yes and no. When one attains this position, ties to family and other associates are cut off. That is the most difficult aspect. As far as anyone knows, my former self is dead. Records of my life are mysteriously lost. I assume that is difficult for those one leaves behind. However, I am fortunate that I did not have many family, associates, or records to lose. My name was no great loss, nor were other aspects of my identity. I never conformed to gender, for instance. For me, it was an easy decision. They call me Agent Number 1, or Agent No One. Use they or them when speaking about me, as to further protect my identity. However, that had already been my preference. I will simply state that our partnership with the United Colonies and Freestar Collective comes with some powerful tools. As a rank and file tracker, it is not a requirement, but it is advised, for the safety of those you know. For a leader such as myself, it is an absolute necessity for the safety of the entire organization. Know that to attain my position of leadership, it was a combination of deeds, competency, professionalism, and above all, trust. An agent takes on a more administrative role, whereas trackers primarily work in the field. Often, when time and age catches up with the tracker, they become an agent, as their experience and wisdom is valued, and they can be difficult to re-assimilate into society. Both roles are equally crucial to our operation. May luck follow you.
Hey, catch you on the flip.
May your quarry's death be as swift as snuffing out a candle. I have seen death. I have seen tragedy. I have seen more beg for their lives than I can count. But what I haven't seen is a fledgling tracker seemingly so willing and eager to speak with me so soon after joining. What knowledge do you hope to gain from our interaction? Very well, then. Ask, and listen well. I am Yama. I borrow this name from the god of the dead, who judges the souls I usher to him. I must warn you, my advice may not be palatable. I hope those are not just words. I strongly insist that you consider heeding my advice. If you are given the choice between bringing your targets in alive or dead, always choose dead. Criminal fugitives must be brought to justice, and the only way to truly serve that justice is to end their lives so that they can be judged fairly in the afterlife. Correct. A criminal fugitive is already trying to run from justice. They will do it again, if given the chance. It is in their nature. Would you allow even a slim chance that they escape again? Even if they turn from their criminal path, would you deny their victims true justice? That is true, and yet, the thought that they would go unjudged for so long would eat away at me. But I realize that may not be your belief, so I will not try to convince you any further. My stories are not for your amusement, but I will share one so that you may learn from my mistake. There was one time I decided to let a man live. He had a family, a wife, 3 children. He showed me a picture. They looked happy. He begged I let him live and spend the rest of his days incarcerated. So, at least he could see them occasionally and watch his children grow up from afar. He escaped from prison. He went home and murdered his entire family, and the family next door, and several others. By the time I found him again, he had killed himself, robbing me of the chance to pass him off to face his eternal judgment. Never again. There is not much I wish to divulge. Whatever you have heard about me is likely true. I do not bring back my targets alive. I aim for brutal efficiency. I do not work well with others. You must know, I do not feel the need to appease or delight anyone. I take jobs no one else wants, and I always get it done. That is my value. Reaper's grace be with you.
What can I do you for, young gun?
You're always welcome to relax here, between jobs.
Well, if it ain't, now what call sign did you take again? Night Stalker. Fancy yourself someone who catches them when they least expect, I take it? Well, I can see why you'd take that name. You got my seal of approval. Not that you need it. Name's Bloodhound. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Loads. But let me tell you just one. So, I'm down at some ass-backwards moon outpost out in the boonies. Got this old feller in my sights who's wanted for thieving from Ryujin and the other big corpos. Now, he don't know I ain't gonna shoot him, but he's itching to do something stupid. Then his kids come out, and his grandkids form a circle around him. Turns out, he's stealing so they can all just have a life. I get it. So I let him go. Far as the corpos know, he's dead. I tell you, it ain't an easy job, no sir. Some will tell you to do it as written. Me? I like to sleep soundly. Sure, I'm a veritable wealth of information. Anything particular on your mind? Now that's a tough one. Depends on the situation. If you can't convince them with words, you may have to rough them up and put the fear of God in them. I suggest you learn as much as you can about human anatomy and physiology. It ain't pretty, but there are many things you can do to a body that ain't lethal, but may cause someone to wish they were. Personally, I prefer the diplomatic approach. Just because we're all certified badasses who could easily lay out the toughest spacer punk doesn't mean you're not human. If you ask me, words are a tracker's most effective tool. You'd be surprised how far a little sympathy can take you sometimes. And failing that, most targets are cowards. They don't want to die. Exploit that fact when you can. Well, it ain't what I'd call hot tips, but they serve me well. Eat right, stay hydrated, exercise, just stay healthy. Don't hunt if you're sick. Last thing you want is an errant cough or sneeze to give you away when you're trying to use the element of surprise. You got it, Chief. Sure, I don't mind sharing a little about myself, but, not too much. I'm no agent number one, but I'm still a tracker. Been a tracker for over 30 years. Before that, I was what you might call a freebooter. I won't tell you what I did, but sure as hell wasn't above board. Well, suffice to say, that life can weigh on your soul. After a few close calls and some introspection, I came to the idea that I could do some good instead. Of course, it's hard to translate those kind of skills to the workforce, so here I am. Always saw to it to bring in my targets alive, in case they have any similar revelations. Yep, every single time. It ain't too hard when you've lived my life and seen the things I've seen. Folks deserve a second, third, even fourth chance. I'm living proof of that. Tell me, let's say someone puts a bounty on your head that you rightfully didn't deserve, or maybe you slipped up and had a bad day. You think it's right that they get to play executioner? You see, that's what you call a slippery slope. You justify it once, you can justify it again. Sooner or later, you end up like old Yama over there, believing yourself some servant of the god of death or something, and thinking you're doing them poor souls a favor. Ain't no life for me. Anyway, you're gonna do you, and I won't judge. But don't come crying to me if you can't reckon with your own demons.
Yo,
So long.
you tracked blood in all over my damn floor again earlier.
Yes, that was likely me.
Well, could you not? I'm tired of cleaning up after you. I mean, look at you now. Not a speck of blood on you. You clearly know how to clean up after yourself.
For you, I will try to be more careful, but I make no promises.
Fine. Well, maybe I don't make any promises to give you a clean glass to drink out of. How's that for you? Pull up a seat. There's no judgment here. Well, you're a new face. Ain't every day we get fresh meat for the grinder. What do we call you, Tracker? That's got kind of an old-school noir flair to it. So, what can I get for you, Night Stalker? Oh, where are my manners? They call me Two-Shot, or even Touche for short. Used to be a tracker in the field like you. But I traded in gunslinging for slinging drinks. I sell drinks to wet your whistle and other provisions you may need out there. So what'll it be? You know it, Sunshine. Who do you want to know about? There's no story there. That's kind of the point with any Agent No One. You gotta give up your identity completely when you become leader of the Trackers. That job comes with a giant target on your back. So, the less people know, the better. Agent No One is like a closed book. If that book were also glued, clamped, chained, and buried underneath an active volcano on the most distant moon of the most distant planet of the furthest star system. Bloodhound's one of the old-timers. He's good people, but I hear that wasn't always the case. I can't say for sure, but based on some of the stories he used to tell, I think he was ex-Fleet. As in the Crimson Fleet. Quite a turn to go from an outlaw to someone who chases outlaws. But the skills transfer pretty well, I imagine. Oh, she's been doing this longer than anyone, I think. She's old, but don't count her out just yet. Rumor is she was next in line for Agent No One, but turned it down after the last one was killed. She even brought the killer to justice. Word is, she just liked fugitive recovery a lot more. Or didn't want the responsibility. I lean more towards the latter. It makes more sense considering she's an agent now. Anyway, they used to say that the longer she bides her time, the more a fugitive has to fear. He talks a big game. Even has the skills and stats to back it up. But you probably also know as well as I do that he is fiercely competitive. You can either play into it or ignore it. He's not that bad once you get to know him. You ever wonder why he's called Roach, huh? It's because he seems to be unkillable. Not literally, of course, but he's managed to get himself out of some extremely sticky situations unscathed. He's a big teddy bear. Such a departure from the norm around here. Oh, I also know he's run the Red Mile under his tracker call sign, which may get him into trouble with someone someday, but it's his decision. Oh, he isn't exactly the conversational type. Seems to enjoy the company of others, but not talking to them or interacting with anyone in any meaningful way. We just leave him alone and let him do his thing. He doesn't bother us, and we don't bother him. Other than that, I don't know much about him. Seems to be a good tracker, though. Other than his obsession with death, I don't know much about him. He doesn't exactly open up to others. Everyone says he must have seen or done some pretty terrible things. I don't have anything to go on but that. You know, it takes a lot to make me uncomfortable, and even though he's never done anyone here any harm, or even so much as let anyone down, he still gives me the creeps. Suit yourself. Funny you ask. Most trackers choose their call signs. So did I. Used to be called Solar Flare, but enough people started calling me Two Shot that it stuck. When I was out there, it never took me more than 2 shots from my firearms to bag my target. Thought I would have given it up once I retired from tracking to have a kid. I pour such strong drinks that now they say it doesn't take any more than 2 shots to down a tracker. So, it stuck. I'm just happy they decided to keep me on the payroll. I've got anything you need, provided what you need is some liquid courage. You need anything, Bloodhound?
Nah, I'm good, Touche. Hey, how's the kiddo, by the way?
She's doing great. She just lost another baby tooth. Yeah, she's really starting to read, too. Her dad's teaching her.
How about that? I remember when she was, yay high and could barely speak. Oh, bless your heart. You must be proud.
She's the light of my life. You know, she's why I'm not out there anymore. Can't put her at risk, you know? I'll just, have to live vicariously through the trackers that stole through here.
I hear that. Well, you know, anyone stupid enough to go after your girl would see us rain fire down on them faster and more ruthless than the wrath of hell itself.
I know. All the same, it was time to get out anyway. Thanks, though.
Well, howdy, tracker.
I miss tracking, but hanging around here is just as good. How about that? We got a new tracker in the building. Name's Stash, and I'm more than just a pretty face. You ever need my help, you can step right over here to my little corner and we can talk shop. Whether it's for business or pleasure, That's up to you. I tinker. I make, modify, and refurbish weapons and other equipment. For trackers only. But I don't do it for free, and I don't do it for credits either. I only take Astras. And you get whatever I give you. No questions, no special requests, no refunds. I was hoping you'd ask. Back during the Narian War, there was some serious concern that the banks were going to fail. So some enterprising individuals took matters into their own hands and started minting their own currency, Astras, just in case the worst came to pass. Anyway, Astras are rare, but they're out there, still used in some black market circles since they're untraceable by any government. Guns, melee weapons, lethal, non-lethal, suits, you name it. All with my own modifications. Good, and we're on the same page. Matter of fact, I do. But the most interesting ones aren't from my tracker field work. Instead, I'm gonna take you back in time to my youth. See, I was a scrappy little neon street rat. I tinkered, built homemade weapons, and armor made out of scraps I came across. You can imagine who might buy that sort of thing. That's right. Gangbangers and other lowlives. I saw what they used these weapons for. But I had to make money. And it kept me safe from the gangs because they needed me. Well, I never did care much for those gangs, the way they preyed on folks weaker than them. So, when I found out about the trackers, I decided on a career change. Turns out I wasn't much for following rules. They said I was a bit of a loose cannon. But they liked my equipment, so here I am, peddling wares for other trackers. Well, when you grow up on the neon streets, you learn to fly by the seat of your pants. That doesn't always jive with protocol, even by tracker standards. Too much collateral damage. Don't worry, no one died. But let's just say I may have temporarily increased the homeless population. Anyway, I like what I do now. I'm putting my technical skills to use in a way that Trackers Alliance appreciates. Absolutely. And that's a good thing to keep in mind as you're out there catching bad guys. Just, try not to do what you gotta do with reckless abandon. Survival isn't always without consequences. No, and yes. No, it's stash, like my mustache. Yes, it's kind of on the nose, like my mustache. Well, under it, but you get the idea. But yeah, it does work out like that, doesn't it? You're not the first to suggest it, and I doubt you'll be the last. And before you ask, no, I didn't grow the stash because I got a stash of goods or vice versa. Sometimes nicknames just stick. Astras, you say? I can take those off your hands and put something better in them. Thanks. Enjoy your new equipment. I got more where that came from. Hold on now. You don't have that many Astras. But when you do, I'll be glad to oblige with your equipment request. No problem. Lay it on me. Catch you around.
If you're here to convince me not to kill again, you're wasting your time, old man.
Now hold on, it ain't always about that. I just want to know where you got that new hardware I saw you walk in with earlier.
I got it from Stash. Traded that old currency he deals in for it.
I can confirm that.
Ain't that something? You give him junk money and he gives you high-quality gear.
I can confirm that too.
I have no qualms with this deal.
Of course, I don't get what he sees in the stuff. No one outside of him deals in it anymore.
You guys can hear me, right? It's like I said before, I'm collecting it because when it comes back into circulation, I'll have a huge supply of it.
Yeah, we hear you. I just don't think any of us believe it'll make a comeback after 100 years. But hey, you do you, Stash.
Yeah, we'll see. Just because you don't know anyone that deals in it doesn't mean it's worthless. I know people.
Agent Koyos, at your service. What is your query? If I don't know it, no one here does. Mostly, stand around waiting for someone to interact with me. I am connected to the tracker database, so when a tracker either has or needs information about a certain target, they come to me. My directive is to assist trackers with any queries they have, and if desired, give advice based on the information we have compiled. No, it is a pseudo-acronym meant to emphasize my station as hardware and software. My programmer thought it would be clever, but clearly it goes over most heads. Koyos was a Greek Titan god, born of Uranus and Gaia. He was known as a Titan of knowledge and queries. But I wouldn't expect you to know that. Goodbye. If you have need of my services, just ask. But try not to monopolize my time. If any of the information I've given you was wrong, it was probably entered wrong.
You must harden yourself against doubt, or succumb to its woes.
What are you standing around for when there's fugitives on the loose?
Watch more than you speak. You'll learn faster.
With the rocks cleared, we're one step closer to building permanent home.
Never ever go outside a safe zone.
Hey, what can I do for you? Need some work done? Sure, have at it.
Hey, welcome to the city. Cool. That's what we... See you around.
Keep a lookout. Notify us. Come January 1st, gourmet lovers have to wait a long...
You're not having any trouble finding what I...
Take a look! See you later, friendo!
Asking, begging chunks to operate year-round.
By now, you're probably tired of seeing this face. Me too. Working for you beats trying to evade the scans, no lie. What's on the docket? Still working? Another day, another evening. Do you need me somewhere? What's the one phrase you say the most? Mines? I'm sorry, officer. I don't know how they got there.
Hello. Glad to be part of the team.
I am currently engaged in the completion of my assigned task. Please do not interfere.
Terminal Star Yard. If you have business, feel free to dock.
Deimos ships are responsible for countless victories. They're a true piece of...
Deimos has every type of ship you need. Except actually... So what we need is... copper. We need a small shipment. 500 units of it. Excellent. This invoice has the details. Oh, yeah. Bye.
No other ship can hold a candle to a Deimos. It's not even close.
Deimos is here to turn you into a tricked-out fighting machine. Certainly. Right away. when you get serious about your spacecraft, come back to Deimos.
You should be honored to step foot in here. Welcome to Deimos.
Hi, and good day. Looks like your ship is already in good shape. What can I help you with? Here are the ships I have in stock.
Proceed.
Hard to believe any of this is happening. Please do.
Aye, Captain. Good to see you.